Hey everybody, welcome back to Brainiac Baseball's 1980 Detroit Tigers season replay. Today's matchup is between the Detroit Tigers and the Minnesota Twins at Metropolitan Stadium. On the mound for Detroit is Rick Reuschel, whose record is 10-17 with a 4.77 ERA. And pitching for the Twins is Geoff Zahn, whose record is 9-6 with a 5.05 ERA. And so we, at the most dire time, have been shut out in back-to-back games. And that puts us 6 games back. We're on a 3-game losing streak when we need to win the most. We had a day off, and it gave everyone the rest they needed. Then they played a game, and now everyone's tired again. So I just said, forget it. We're going to take out everybody who's tired. We're going to put in the September call-ups. So you're going to see the season debut of a couple Tigers today. And for those who were wondering, with Jim Bibby being injured for the year, I moved Bruce Robbins into the number 5 spot. And I don't know, if we can win a couple of games before we get to him, I may very well just go to a 4-man rotation down the stretch, for what it's worth, I suppose. But if not, then we'll give Robbins his turn in the rotation to see what he can offer us for next year. So there's our rotation updated. And then everybody is available in the bullpen, and that's nothing to be excited about. And, of course, Reuschel's on the mound. Here's the lineup. So many changes today. But new guys, we have Ed Putman, who is a catcher, but he's going to be playing first base, so that's a defensive liability. And we have Marty Castillo behind the plate, who has the strongest arm on the team from a catching standpoint. And then we know Gibson played a couple days ago, and he took an offer that day, so... Otherwise, we're going with primarily backups today. Everybody who's a decent player is on the bench. Geoff Zahn is a lefty, and so that's why we're giving some of the other lefties a break today as well. So, we got to score a run, right? Here is the lineup rundown officially for the Tigers. Batting first, and in right field is Bob Baylor. Batting second, and at second base, is Tom Brookins. Batting third and DHing is Carlton Fisk. Batting cleanup and in center field is Tony Armas. Batting fifth and in left field is Kirk Gibson. Batting sixth and catching today is Marty Castillo. Batting seventh and at third base is Richie Hebner. Batting eighth and at first is Ed Putman. And batting ninth and at shortstop is Mark Wagner. On the mound for the Twins is Geoff Zahn, making his 28th start. He's 9-6 with a 5.05 ERA. He's given up 105 runs and 238 hits in 187 innings pitched. So opponents are batting .305 against him. He has a complete game shutout on the year. Geoff Zahn was a University of Michigan product. He was drafted 4 times. In 1968, he was drafted by the White Sox in the 34th round, and he passed. And then the Red Sox drafted him in the 5th round in 1967, and he did not sign. So in the secondary draft of 1967, the Tigers drafted him in the 2nd round, and he did not sign. And then finally, in 1968, he was drafted in the 5th round by the Dodgers, and that's the team that, as you can see here, that he started off with. He was, in 1982, which of course we're not even near yet, he was finished 6th in the Cy Young voting. He went 18-8 with a 3.73 ERA for the Angels, which is the team that he signed with after the 1980 season. And in that Cy Young year, he pitched 229 innings, and he only had 81 strikeouts. That's unbelievable. That would never fly today. And after he retired, he was actually the University of Michigan head coach from 1996 to 2001. So while he's a U of M grad and dear to my heart, we want to crush him today for as many runs as we can get. And Baylor leads off the game by hitting it all the way to the center field wall for a double. So a great start to the game. As Baylor, who's been a disappointment, batting under 200 since he came to Detroit, starts off the game with a base hit. Brookins grounds to short, so Baylor cannot advance. And that's one down. Next up is Carlton Fisk batting .348 versus lefties, and he's going to get a fly ball to center field. Is that deep enough to go for third? You don't want to be the third out at third, right? But we got to take some chances. I mean, we're already struggling, and Baylor's out at third. So this is going to be one of those games as Willie Norwood throws out Bob Baylor, and we go to the bottom of the first. So here's the lineup rundown for the Twins. Batting leadoff and playing second base is Kurt Siebert. Batting second and DHing is Dave Collins. Batting third and catching is Dave Engel. Batting cleanup and at first base is Danny Goodwin. Batting fifth and at third base is Steve Ontiveros. Batting sixth and in left field is Dave Edwards. Batting seventh and in center field is Willie Norwood. Batting eighth and in right field is Hoskin Powell. And batting ninth and at shortstop is Ivan De Jesus. Rick Reuschel on the mound for Detroit. He's been a hard luck loser often since his trade to Detroit. Making his 18th start, he's 6-8 with a 4.27 ERA. Opponents are batting .287 against him, and he's got 2 complete games for the Tigers, 3 overall. So, I mean, we need anything we can get from a starting pitcher right now. Like, give us 6 good innings as Siebert grounds to second base, and there's the first out. Next up will be Dave Collins, who walks. And Collins has great speed. He did once lead the American League in stolen bases. And Castillo is tested right away as Collins does take second base. So a stolen base has a runner in scoring position now for Dave Engel. And he steals third as well. So much for the strong arm of Castillo. We've got to pull the infield in against the Twins hitter Engel. And he's going to hit a sac fly to center field. And the Twins take a 1-0 lead. It's just like that. We're already behind. And Danny Goodwin strikes out swinging. So we go to the top of the second. We're already down 1-0. Tony Armas, we stuck him in the cleanup spot. He has not hit a home run since we called him up to the majors. He grounds to short, and De Jesus throws him out. So next up is Kurt Gibson, who we have in a tough spot. It's a lefty-on-lefty situation, and he gets his first hit of the year. So good job by Gibby. Runner on first. And Marty Castillo making his major league debut. We're going to try to steal second base on the slow-throwing Geoff Zahn. Gibby's fast, right? Running back at Michigan State University. And he does steal second base. So good job by Gibby. We're going to let Castillo swing away. And he hits a ground ball to second base. Gibson takes third. And it's going to be up to Hebner to drive in the run. Hebner only batting .139 versus lefties. And he hits a frozen rope to center, but it's caught by Norwood for the third out. We go to the bottom of the second. We've gone 20 innings in a row without scoring a run at our most desperate need of victories. As Ontiveros flies out to right field. One down. Here's Dave Edwards. Edwards strikes out looking. That's the second strikeout for Reuschel. And Dave Edwards grounds it to Hebner. And that's a 1-2-3 inning. So we go to the top of the third. And here's Ed Putman, who played for the Cubbies before the Tigers. So he's just making his season debut. He hits a fly ball to right field. And that's one out. Next up is Wagner. Mark Wagner, batting .319 overall, limited duty. He's been fairly solid in a backup role. He grounds out to Goodwin at first. So there's two outs. We're back to the top of the lineup with Bob Baylor, who goes 2 for 2 now. And, why not try to steal second? Get a runner in a scoring position for Brookins. A pitch out, and he still steals second base. So I think that's his 24th stolen base, leading the team. And here's a pitch to Brookins. He grounds out to first. So we can't get a run on the board. It's still 1-0 Twins. Twins do not have a hit yet, as Hoskin Powell leads off the inning. He hits a fly ball on the right, but Baylor has it for the first out. Next up is the number 9 hitter, Ivan De Jesus. And he hits a high fly ball into right field, and it's caught at the fence by Baylor. I would have lost my mind if that was a home run. He has no home runs on the season here in September. Next up is Siebert, who gets a base hit just past Brookins. Oh, and then it's error by Tony Armas in center field, moving Siebert into scoring position. So we're in a tough spot here. If we go down 2-0, is that an infield hit? Yeah. Yep. Collins gets an infield hit. And now Engel is up as they've got back-to-back hits now. And Engel will pop it up on the infield. I have my doubts about it being caught. Okay, it is caught by Hebner for the third out, and we go to the fourth inning. It's 1-0. 21 innings in a row as Fisk strikes out. That's the first strikeout for Zahn, who I think looks like the old man pitcher from Major League. So there's one out. Here's Tony Armas. He walks. So one down. Here's Gibby. We're going to let him swing away. Oh, he takes a third strike looking. So two down. Here's Marty Castillo. And he shoots it into the gap all the way to the wall, deepest part of the park. And he has himself an RBI triple. And finally, we put a run on the board. 1-1 on the first Major League hit for Castillo. Next up is Richie Hebner, and a hit by Hebner to left field scores Castillo, and we have a lead for once. So two down. Here is Ed Putman. And Putman pops it up to third base. And it's caught by Ontiveros for the third out. So we finally have ourselves a lead. 2-1. Bottom of the fourth. And Danny Goodwin gets a base hit up the middle. Runner on first. Next up is Steve Ontiveros. And he gets a line drive down the right field line. First and third now. Nobody out. We're going to keep the infield back and try to go for two. We'll let that run score, even though we really can't afford it. Well, it's going to be a sac fly by Edwards anyway. And the game is tied. So we didn't have the lead for long as Willie Norwood steps in. And he strikes out. Third K for Reuschel. 2 outs in the inning. Next up is Hoskin Powell. Powell hits a ground ball right to Brookins. And there's the third out. We go to the fifth. All tied at 2. Mark Wagner leading off against Geoff Zahn at 68 pitches. And Wagner strikes out swinging. 3 Ks for the soft-tossing Zahn. Baylor, who is 3 for 3, hits it to the opposite field, and it's caught on the warning track for the second out of the inning. So 2 down for Brookins, and Brookins gets a base hit to right. No, we're not going to test it. And normally I would try to steal here, but we're going to give Fisk a chance to swing away. He's 0 for 2 against Zahn, but he does hit lefties well. And does he bloop it in? Oh, it's caught for the third out. So to the bottom of the fifth, 2-2. Ivan De Jesus leads off. And De Jesus gets a base hit to center. This is the inning that Reuschel always falls apart. So I hate to say it, but we're going to keep him on a short leash here. Oh, it's a bunt by Siebert. Didn't see that coming. And it's a successful bunt as De Jesus takes second base. So we're going to pull the outfield in for the light-hitting Dave Collins. And he hits a fly ball to right, caught by Baylor. And De Jesus cannot tag up on that. So 2 down. Dave Engel, 0 for 2 against Reuschel. And Engel hits a line drive right to Brookins for the third out. So we're going to flip it over to the in-game stats. And Baylor 2 for 3. Maybe the player of the game so far is Castillo with the RBI that gave us that broke the streak. Tony Armas leads off the 6th. He flies out to center field. He has just been terrible, but we don't have a choice. We got to play him every day. Gibby's up next. He grounds it right back to Zahn, who throws him out for the second out. Here's Castillo. Castillo hits a ground ball to second, and Siebert has it for the third out. To the bottom of the 6th, Danny Goodwin leading off. Goodwin pops it straight up, right near second base. Brookins has it, 1 down. Steve Ontiveros is up next, and he hits a pop-up to Brookins. That was on the outfield grass, 2 down. And that'll leave it up to Dave Edwards. Edwards grounds it to Hebner, and that's the third out. So we're still in the game. It's in the 7th inning. That is a huge plus, considering we're using pretty much a majority of the backups. Hebner is going to get a base hit, falls in for a little duck snort. So runner on first, and we're going to use the element of surprise with our first baseman laying down a bunt. He's barely average. So let's see how this works. Oh! He doesn't bother to even try to take the bat off his shoulders. Maybe he didn't see the signal. I don't know. But Hebner steals second base. And I don't think he has too many of those on the season. So we're going to let Putman swing away. And he pops it right up by the catchers behind home plate. And that is the first out. So with 1 down, Hebner at second. Mark Wagner is up. Wagner grounds it to second. Siebert has it. And Hebner takes third. So Baylor, who's 2 for 3 today, we need a big base hit from him. Clutch time. Nope, he grounds it right to Ontiveros. who has a 93 rating at third base, so he's well above average. And we cannot capitalize. We go to the 7th, and Willie Norwood will lead off the inning. 92 pitches now for Reuschel. Norwood grounds it to Brookins, and he throws him out. Brookins is the best defender on the infield today. Everybody else is just average or best, or better, or worse is what I'm trying to say. Average or worse. So next up is Huskin Powell, and he's going to pop it up to Hebner, and that's the second out. So number 9 hitter Ivan De Jesus with 2 down gets an infield hit, and that puts Reuschel at 99 pitches, so he can't go much more than this. And De Jesus steals second base. So Siebert being a switch hitter, followed by Collins, who is also a switch hitter. There's no point in walking him. I don't see any advantage here. Siebert grounds to second. And we go to the 8th. So that'll probably be it for Reuschel. Let's see if we can give him a chance at a victory. Tom Brookins leading off the 8th. And Brookins hits it sharply to second, but not good enough, as Siebert throws him out. So that brings up Fisk. One time, Carlton, he walks. We'll take him walk. Walk's as good as a hit, except that this guy's next, and he can't do jack. Oh, okay. Well, he gets a base hit to left. Miracles do happen. So it's first and second for Gibby. And Gibby, we know he's got that clutch gene. If you see in the 1988 home run. Boom. No, that's going to be caught by the center fielder, and there's just no way. I'm going to let Fisk try to advance to third. If Baylor can't get there, then Fisk won't get there. And now Zahn is at 108 pitches, officially tired. Let's see if Castillo can take advantage of that. He gets walked. And they're going to keep him in there to face the left-hander, Hebner, who's got 2 hits today against him, which is fairly impressive. Let's see if Hebner's got something for him. Boom! But no. Ground ball to third, and that's it. So, we have to go to the bullpen. I mean, he's not listed as tired, but he's thrown 101 pitches, and we got to give him some credit for that. So this puts us in a tough spot. It looks like Collins bats 303 versus righties. So we're going to bring in a lefty. We're going to bring in Dan Schatzeder. This will be his first game since he was called up for the September call-ups. He was actually pretty solid his first time around. And he gets Collins to hit a fly ball into right center field. 1 down. Here's Dave Engel. We're going to let Schatzeder pitch to Engel so we can get to Goodwin, the lefty. And Engel shoots it right at Putman at first, and he spears it for the second out. And so with 2 down, here is Danny Goodwin. And Goodwin strikes out. So great job by Schatzeder. And they're going to bring in their closer, John Verhoeven. This is his 52nd game of the year. He's 5-5 with a 3.34 ERA. Whoa, almost twice as many walks as strikeouts. And he's managed to save 18 games and 21 opportunities. Opponents are only batting .201 against him. That's remarkable. So the question is, now that we have righty in, we can bring in some lefties. And I think we need to pull out all the stops. So we would have to bring in Thompson, who was listed as tired. So let's let Putman swing away. Putman grounds out to short. There's 1 out. Next up is Wagner, batting .375 versus righties. And he gets a base hit into center field. And Wagner is 1 for 4 today. Pretty solid. Man, Baylor, who's been terrible, really, and he's got the 2 hits today. I think we're going to hit and run. I don't think we've done that all game. So we're going to give Baylor a chance to swing away. And he hits it right to short. The only play is to first as Wagner's running on it. The play, of course. So he's safe at second. And that's going to bring up Tommy Brookins, who is batting .169 versus righties. We need this victory, but we also need the rest. And Brookins grounds out to third. So we go to the ninth, bottom of the ninth, all tied at 2. And we're going to bring in Pat Underwood, who is back from his injury. And this might be the only batter he faces, as Ontiveros only hits .180 versus lefties. And he hits it sharply to Brookins at second. There's 1 out. And we've got a full bullpen, folks, so we're going to use them. Roger Weaver's next in line. Dave Edwards with 1 out. Strikes out as Weaver catches him on a curve on the inside. So 2 down. Willie Norwood up. .227 versus righties. And he hits one into left center field, and it does fall in for a hit. And so we have ourselves a lefty. So that means Keith Comstock will get a shot to finish off the inning. Powell batting .190 versus lefties. And he hits it sharply to center field like it was nothing. So we got to go back to playing the odds. And, it has to be Dave Tobick. And he just got battered around his last time. So this could be the ball game right here. It's Ivan De Jesus, the light-hitting shortstop, batting .213. How's this going to play out? 1-0 count. And he gets a hit to finish the game off. So it was not meant to be, as the Tigers lose 3-2. And that's our 4th loss in a row. And we are now on the standings watch, 7 games out. And so it will take a miracle now, as Milwaukee is eliminated from the playoffs, and only Chicago in the National League. So transactions, nothing of any interest. Let's pull up the box score, and we'll get out of here. Like and subscribe if you enjoy this content. You probably a 4-game losing streak any more than I do. But we did rest our hitters, so we're going to come back strong tomorrow. Baylor got his 15th double. Marty Castillo, his first major league hit, was a triple. Roger Weaver takes his first loss on the year. We tried to play the odds, and nobody could come through for us. And Rick Reuschel, again, hard luck. No decision on that. John Verhoeven, 6-5. And, all base hits for Twins. So that's it here from Metropolitan Stadium. Another sad loss, and we'll be back tomorrow with the 3rd and final game of the series. Until then, everyone, have a great night.